What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 7-game slate tonight. So let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Kyle Lowry from the Miami Heat playing the New York Knicks, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing point guards, and Kyle Lowry has averaged 33.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. He's projected at 33.7 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's $6,500 DraftKings salary, $400 less on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 215.5 points scored in this game, and Kyle Lowry has scored 46, 42, and 33 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 38, 36, and 27 minutes. So I like Kyle Lowry here versus the New York Knicks. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. Here's a stud pick for you. I like Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz playing the Charlotte Hornets, who have the 4th worst defense overall. They give up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards, and Donovan Mitchell has averaged 43.2 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He's projected at 43.2 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 45 fantasy points or more in this matchup, get you 5 times value or more. He's 9,000 DraftKings salary, 500 less on FanDuel. So I like that price on both sites, but I love that FanDuel price. Vegas thinks there's going to be 231 points scored in this game, and Donovan Mitchell has scored 51, 38, and 59 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 34, 35, and 36 minutes. So I like Donovan Mitchell here versus the Charlotte Hornets. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Royce O'Neal. So he's a value play from the Utah Jazz playing the Charlotte Hornets, who have the 4th worst defense overall, give up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing small forwards, also eligible at the power forward position. He's averaging 21.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 10% usage rate. He's projected at 21.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.5 times value. He's only $3,900 DraftKings salary, 200 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 231 points scored in this game, and Royce O'Neal has scored 18, 22, and 27 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 30, 32, and 36 minutes. I just think $3,900 is a little too cheap for Royce O'Neal. in this high-scoring game with a good matchup, playing 30-plus minutes a game. So I like Royce O'Neal here versus the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Dorian Finney-Smith from the Dallas Mavericks playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have the 11th worst defense overall. They give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Dorian Finney-Smith has averaged 23.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 14% usage rate. I think he can score 27 fantasy points or more, get you 5 times value or more. He's $5,300 DraftKings salary, but he's $800 less on FanDuel. So I love that FanDuel price. Vegas thinks there's going to be 228 points scored in this game, and Dorian Finney-Smith has scored 29, 31, and 14 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 34, 36, and 28 minutes. And I like this pick because Dorian Finney-Smith has scored 31, 38, and 35 fantasy points in his last 3 games versus the Timberwolves. So I think he makes a fantastic FanDuel play. So I like Dorian Finney-Smith here versus the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, moving on to the center position. I've got a value play for you here at the center position. Take a look at Isaiah Stewart from the Detroit Pistons playing the Washington Wizards, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing centers. Isaiah Stewart has averaged 23.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 15% usage rate. I think he can score 25 fantasy points or more, get you 5 times value or more. He's $5,000 DraftKings salary, $400 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 219.5 points scored in this game. And Isaiah Stewart has scored 24, 29, and 23 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 21, 31, and 22 minutes. He's got a decent track record here versus the Washington Wizards. Scored 25, 22, 33, 41, and 19 fantasy points in his last 5 games versus the Wizards. So this is a guy I think that can definitely at least get you close to 5 times value, scored 23 to 25 fantasy points. But then he does have that 30 plus fantasy point upside. Occasionally will flash that 40 plus fantasy point upside. Probably going to be somewhat low ownership on this play. So if you do need to save some salary at the center position, especially on DraftKings, I like Isaiah Stewart here versus the Washington Wizards. Now, I just wanted to give you Isaiah Stewart before I gave you this guy, because you're probably tired of me giving you this pick, but he is still priced right, and he's got a great matchup. I like Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz playing the Charlotte Hornets, who have the 4th worst defense overall. They give up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing centers. Rudy Gobert has averaged 41.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He's projected at 40.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's 7,600 DraftKings salary, same price on FanDuel. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 231 points scored in this game, so I do think this is a good game to stack. And Rudy Gobert, he has not performed all that well the past 3 games. Only scored 32, 17, and 33 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 30, and 33 minutes. So I think he is due for a big game here tonight. And I love his player versus team history. He scored 56, 38, 39, 49, and 51 fantasy points in his last 5 games versus the Hornets. So I like Rudy Gobert here versus the Charlotte Hornets.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.